All right, so I am here with Be Damned. And would you like to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band?
All right, I'm Matt Williams, and I'm the lead singer and bass player.
Jed Sugars, play guitar, do some backup vocals.
I'm Robert McGonigal, and I play the drums.
So how long has this been a thing?
Well, we started the band in 21, right after the pandemic, and it started with Jed and I. We'd known each other for a good many years, and we'd played in a lot of bands together, and I'd just moved back to the area from Central PA, and we got back together and started making music again. And we played for a little bit, and we were searching for a singer and a bass player, and, you know, we had a few people in mind, but Matt's name kept coming up. And so I think it was like in late 22, we got in touch.
Playing about a year.
Yeah, we got in touch. We got in touch with Matt, and we had recorded some stuff already, which would become our debut EP, just, you know, without vocals or, you know, final bass tracks. So we let Matt listen to the tunes, and he liked what he heard, and
then from there on out,
Jed contacted me, and I'd been playing in cover bands in the area for a long time in the Southern Tier, and the last one had broke up, and I thought, you know, getting up there a little bit, I don't even know if I want to do covers anymore and play out.
Right.
And he says, you know, we wrote some stuff, we recorded it. Would you be interested? And I listened to the tracks, and I was like, I love this stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I haven't done an original project in a little while, long while.
and after
actually.
a few times of him just playing bass with us, it was like, you know, I'd heard him sing before because, you know, we grew up in the same area, and I was like, Rob, you know, we should talk to him, see about doing some vocals, and it just worked out, and we just decided to keep the three-piece.
I took the tracks they had and the lyrics that Jed had written, and just my computer set up at home with Studio One, and threw the stuff in there and recorded what I thought sounded good, and, you know, cut and spliced a little bit on the music, and, you know, changed a little lyrically, and handed it back to him and said, what do you think? And they liked it.
From there on out, like, Matt's written some of his own stuff too, so we're playing some of that now too, like 14810,
Live
Live
Fast.
Fast.
Fast Die Young.
Yeah.
And they seem to fit what we do.
Yeah, they all go together.
So you're out of where?
Bath, New York.
Okay. And what former bands have you guys been in that did originals?
Let's see. I was in a hardcore / metal band called Death by Virtue. That was more in the Syracuse area. That was when I was, you know, in college at Oswego State University. So I played in that band for a couple years, and we did a little bit of recording and limited touring and, you know, gigging, but ultimately it didn't really go anywhere.
And while Rob was going to school, I was just a few years younger in high school still. He played in a band with me in high school called Rising Up. Just put out a few demos, stuff like that.
What about you?
You know, I just done some basic recording projects that never even went out to play live in that. I just recorded, like, I did what we called a Wednesday music thing, recording project, where I had a friend in Binghamton, and I'd go down and somebody would have an idea, and we'd just build a song on it, and he had friends from that area that would come in and record a bass line, a guitar part, a keyboard part, and I only, out of all the guys that played in the project was called Water Signs, I only ever met one before we were done recording it, and that was the craziest thing to me. And then, you know, after that, I'd record a little bit with my friend Trace Davis, and, you know, we'd just do it at his place and that, but nothing ever really came of it. And then I didn't write songs for a long time. And these guys, this was perfect after, you know, many years of doing covers. And
so how does the songwriting go with you guys now?
So far, you know, like the original, obviously we had the music for our EP.
Yeah.
We give that to him, you know, bass lines, you know, or a piece of cake for him. He's a good bass player. Knock those out, and then I would just do like a stupid cell phone recording of me kind of strumming my acoustic guitar and singing the lyrics, kind of talking through the lyrics, send it to him. He kind of makes it fit.
Chicken scratches his lyrics,
right? And then he fine tunes it, and then
sends it to
exactly. It's a real kind of primitive way of doing it, but it's working for us. I guess
the songs that I had written that we're doing right now,
they fit with what we're doing.
Yeah, I just went on Studio One and recorded, you know, guitar, because I play guitar as well, and recorded my basic guitar idea and bass and vocals.
Then I'll learn
and
that, and then
said, "Do you
from
like it?
that,
You know, is this something we can use? We can change, you know." And that's one of the great things is, you know, a lot of these songs have been molded to where they're not nowhere near exactly what they were
No.
when they were handed off, and everybody works to make the songs better.
And every once in a while, I'll come up with something and I'll give it to Rob. It'll be a band that like we're familiar with, and I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of a Blood for Blood or a Scarhead ripoff or something like that, and then that might not be a band that like Matt's real familiar with. So I give it to him. He puts his own twist on it. And I'm like, okay, so it's not a ripoff anymore. You know,
Right.
like,
Does it sound like
no, yeah. So initially, I'm like, maybe we can't do that, but yeah, so it works for us.
So you have the one EP out,
Yes.
and that's available where?
It's on all the
Yeah,
streaming
it's
services.
on all the streaming services.
We
It's
have
on
physical
iTunes,
copies, but
and we have CDs as well.
How many songs are on it?
four.
Four. Okay.
It's called the Ballad of Frank Kiff, which is do we want to tell the story or not?
Sure.
Go ahead.
We're from Bath, New York, and man, Frank Kiff was a local man who kind of had a mental break and took off and left. He had a family, a wife, and children, and just split town. They found his car at the bus station in Binghamton. Somewhere close to 25 years later, a private eye that the family had, hired to try to find him, figure this out, walks up in a lawn in California where a guy's mowing his lawn and says, "Are you Frank Kiff?" And he says, "Yeah." And they found out he was still alive. He had a whole new family, different name, all that
Wow.
stuff. So we had this song,
The song's actually an old song that Rob and I played in a band previous, and then we
and it was called Never Looking Back, or Never Look Back, or something
yeah,
like
I
that.
can't remember now,
And
but-
anyway, Rob made a joke one night at practice and said, "Yeah, the Ballad of Frank Kiff," and we all died laughing.
because his dad always
Like,
made
oh my
this joke
God.
about Frank Kiff, right?
And
Yeah.
so then it really is like, okay, we got to name the song that, and it's like,
So it just stuck, and then
yeah, why don't we just name the EP that as
it's
well?
actually an old song, but
It's an interesting story too.
yeah.
And his son Frank Jr. literally lives a couple blocks away. From
I drive
Chad,
by him every day, and
and
he knows.
knows,
It's
he
weird.
knows about it. He hasn't threatened us or anything.
No, he's threatened to sue us or
No.
anything. Yeah.
Yet.
That's just a story.
It's not like we're lying. It happened,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
the-
not disparaging them in any way.
No, the basic idea of the song is about a guy who just decides to just leave his whole life behind, just hop on his bike and just blow ass, just leave town. And so, when we were trying to come up with a decent title for the song, me being the jerk that I am, I was like, "Yeah, why don't we call it the Ballad of Frank Kiff?" And of course, everybody laughed, and then
Here we are.
yeah, here we are. Apparently, it wasn't such a bad idea after all. So.
So how many songs do you have altogether?
Let's see, I think we have like 13.
Yeah, 13 originals. We messed around with some covers a little bit, but we're kind of
Yeah. We've got a few that we haven't, that aren't ready for the public
yeah. So,
consumption yet.
I mean, like last
how many,
night.
How many did you play today?
10.
Yeah, like last
Okay.
night we played like a 45 minute set in Elmira last night. So
Yeah.
as an opener for the Bowery Boys.
Okay. What do you got coming up?
Not a lot in the books right now.
Not a whole
To
bunch.
get-
We have that Fireside appearance, but that's not really a gig. It's more of a meet and greet type thing.
Yeah, we don't have any gigs booked right now currently.
Well, we do have something coming up in August, toward the end of August, at Horseheads Brewing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Horseheads
that's-
Brewing. That's going to be on August 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's we're playing there.
All right. You know with who?
Not yet.
right.
So far, we're the only band on the bill.
Kind of in the making at this
Yes,
point.
it's a work in progress.
I got an offer to play a graduation party in June, but I don't think we'd be really good for that. Apparently, this 18-year-old kid is really into our music, which I was surprised, and which is flattering. But when like grandma's over there eating potato salad and stuff, I don't think our music's gonna go over that well.
Be an odd juxtaposition.
We are planning on getting back in the studio soon.
Yes, yeah.
With More Sound Music over in Syracuse
Cool.
Jocko.
with Jocko.
A lot of people seem to go there.
Yep.
Yeah, he's great.
Yep.
He's absolutely.
And
It was a phenomenal.
Rob and I actually
experience.
played in a band with him years ago too.
Ah.
Cool guy, and shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
So, lyrically, what do you come up with the songs?
That's
This twisted
yeah.
brain.
It's anything from you know, young hot women to fast cars to fast motorcycles. You know,
Drinking.
drinking, smoking, fighting. You know,
So, basic rock and roll lyrics.
pretty
It
much.
is,
Yes.
you know, it's
Basic
not-
rock and roll lyrics, and like I'm a punk rock hardcore guy, so my guitar riffs kind of lean towards that a little bit.
All right. Where's the best place for people to follow you?
Facebook. We're BDAM607 on Facebook. We do have an Instagram as well, which is BDAM607 as well, I think. We're working on a TikTok thing. As old guys, we're not really social media savvy.
Yeah.
Looking for if anybody wants to help us
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the Instagram and TikTok stuff, we'd be more than grateful with those places. And then, like you said, on the we're on almost every major streaming service there is.
As far as our music, yeah.
You know, wherever you get your tunes, you can probably find us there.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was great.